Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pure 3X Designer Beverage Club Business Briefing webinar. My name is Rick Hager, and I'll be your co-host here this evening, calling in from my home in New York. And I will be joined here shortly by my business partner and longtime friend, Mr. Larry Lanteri. And over the course of the next few minutes here this evening, what we're going to do is share with you some information about one of the most innovative, one of the fastest-growing companies here in North America, and surely a company that will be one of the most talked about and the most joined companies in 2010, 2011, and beyond. That's Pure 3X DBC, Designer Beverage Club. And it's such an exciting time for the company. I remember back about 17, 18 years ago, I was involved in the real estate business, very successful in the real estate business. In addition to that, I was working with a seminar production company. We were training a lot of people around the United States to become more effective in marketing and sales. And I was burning the candle at both ends in those dual careers, working 60 and 70 and 80 hours a week. I was not making the kind of money that I really felt I could be making, and I was dissatisfied. I was looking for an opportunity at that point in time, and I was lucky enough to meet a man who was a multi-millionaire, very wealthy gentleman, did it very young, and he shared with me the value and the power of consumer direct marketing, finding the right company with the right product idea at just the right moment in time. And I surrounded myself with some amazing mentors. They taught me what to look for, what to stay away from, and what to do when I found the right company. And as a result, over the last 16, 17, 18 years, they tell me my income puts me in the top 1 to 3% of income earners in the United States. And I say that not to brag or not to impress you, but to impress upon you that consumer direct marketing, if done correctly, can be a life-changing experience if you're lucky enough to find the right company and the right product idea with the right team and the right culture and environment at just the right moment in time, and you're willing to take action. Most importantly, there's some amazing things that can happen. It can be a life-changing experience for you and your family. And if that wasn't enough, folks, in addition to that, I'd like you to consider what's going on in the marketplace out there today. The typical business model that we've all been taught since school time does not work anymore. And you know that model. It's go to school, study hard, get good grades so that you can get out and go to a good college, then get your degree and go out and find a good job. And hopefully you get some good benefits and everything works out just fine. Well, how's that worked out over the last few years for people that have seen their retirement funds dramatically depleted? We've got record job losses in this country. We've got a record national debt. Personal debt is at an all-time high. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Millions of people are losing their homes. It is a new world. That old model does not necessarily guarantee success anymore because of the nature of the volatile economic climate that we live in. So we can't rely on that whole model of go to school, study hard, get good grades, get a degree, get a good job. There are no good jobs anymore, folks. Their only security is financial security. And the beautiful part of all this, and I don't want to bring up negative, I don't mean to bring up negative as we begin this webinar, but here's the positive in all this. Every adversity carries with it an equal seed for prosperity. In virtually any market, there's always millionaires created, but it is going to require people to think a little bit differently. You have to change the way you think. Rather than thinking like an employee with an employee mentality of trying to find a good job and find a good company to take care of you, you've got to begin to think outside the box and think like an entrepreneur. Think like a free agent, so to speak. In fact, there's a great book. I'd love you to read it. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, arguably the biggest selling book on business success of all time. In the very first chapter, the very first words in the first chapter, he says, thoughts are things. What we think about, we tend to bring into our lives. And we know this to be true because even the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And Think and Grow Rich was a study of the wealthiest, most successful human beings ever. And this was important enough to put in the first chapter the first few words. And so you've got to change the way that you think into that of an entrepreneur. Now let's assume for a moment that there was an opportunity that could provide you with anything that you wanted in life. What would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? Remember, if you want to have a dream, you've got to dream a dream to make a dream come true. If you want to be successful, you've got to begin to open up your mind and dream as though you knew you couldn't fail. And if there was an opportunity that could provide that for you, I would like to find out, what type of dreams people would dream. Would it be to build their dream home? Maybe you've been thinking about moving somewhere or building a home in a certain place. Maybe that's been a dream of yours, or maybe you have a dream car. Maybe you're a car buff. I know a lot of them out there. Maybe you want to be able to travel. I know my wife and I love to travel to different places, meet new people, spend time at different locations geographically. Maybe you want to be able to donate more time to your church or give more money to your church. Maybe that's a dream of yours. Maybe you want to just have more freedom, the ability to wake up when you want, do what you want, not have the handcuffs on or the shackles on. Maybe you want to be able to give more money or more time to charity or to help children. Or maybe you want to become just for once in your life debt-free, no more debt. The point that I'm trying to make here is that you've got to get fired up, number one. Without a dream, there's no reason to do anything. You've got to have a dream. You've got to believe that all things are possible, and you've got to know that thoughts are things. What you begin to think about, you'll begin to manifest into your life. And there are a lot of people out there, folks, that are so caught up and worried and thinking about how bad things are that they're literally attracting more and more of that into their life. If you think differently like an entrepreneur, like there are opportunities out there, you will attract them, and we've got one for you here tonight, folks, that we're going to share with you that is absolutely unbelievable. It's a powerful business. It allows people to succeed regardless of their background, and it is the perfect moment in time for this business, which is very, very important. You know, most people that have become millionaires, if you were to analyze their story of how they did it, you will find a thread of timing involved. They were with the right idea or the right thing at just the right moment in time. And this Pure 3X opportunity is a chance. It is an opportunity for you to be able to live your dreams. If you've got the desire and the willingness and you're teachable, there are going to be some record-breaking incomes here in this company, and it could very well be you. And so with that being said, what I'd like to do at this point is bring on my business partner and longtime friend, Mr. Larry Lanteri. He's calling in from his home in the Phoenix area, and I want him to take us deeper into our presentation. And with that, Larry, why don't you go ahead and jump right in?
Thank you so much, Rick. And the 6 key factors that we're going to be covering tonight are, number 1, the size and scope of the industry that we are in. Number 2, team leadership. 3, the perfect product offering that we have here. Number 4, the compensation model. Number 5, perfect timing and positioning. And number 6, the system, training, and support. And so just to talk a little bit about the size and scope of the industry, the U.S. beverage industry alone is a $110 billion, that's with a B, a $110 billion industry according to the American Beverage Association. And beverages, when you think about it, are the perfect product to market because we habitually and unconsciously consume beverages. There's no behavior modification we're talking about here. We're not asking people to mix up strange concoctions or take hands full of pills. And when you think about it, ask yourself this question. Did you drink anything today? Did you have a beverage today? And so some more trends to talk about the wellness industry. This is a $250 million per day industry and growing. And when we talk about the home-based business industry or the consumer direct marketing industry, this is a $400 billion market, and it's continually growing as well. And Pure 3X is positioned so perfectly to grow in all of these industries here. And so next we're going to talk a little bit about consumer direct marketing. And in the book, The Next Millionaires, it states in there that between 2006 and 2016 that there will be 10 million new millionaires. That's 10 million new millionaires, and you increase your chances if you're in direct sales, technology, a home-based business, product distribution, or that emerging trillion-dollar industry like the wellness industry. And this is according to Paul Zane Pilzer. He's a world-class economist. He was a presidential advisor to 5 separate presidential administrations. This guy has never been wrong, and I've met him in person as well. Next, how about Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump? And to quote them, our concern is that the rich are getting richer, but America is getting poor. Network marketing provides a vehicle for the average person to make an above-average income. You know, it was predicted over 50 years ago that the middle class would disappear, and there would be 2 classes left, the rich and the working poor. And this is already happening as we're speaking.